Hi guys, West Fallen Camp here. I wanted to share with you a recent check I received in May, and this is a 5-figure check. I haven't gotten a lot of 5-figure checks, but when they come, they're nice. I ask you to like and subscribe to this channel to get notifications of upcoming posts, and also I offer tips in each of my videos, so stay tuned to the end of this video for a tip. Here's your tip alert. So I wanted to share with you this case and the 5-figure payout, and here is the money. There it is. This was a very good payout, and this was not an easy case by any means. It was a long, drawn-out case. I actually closed the file for a while, so let me just kind of give you a rundown of the timeline of what took place with this particular case. So I found the lead, and it was a good lead. This was over $40,000 in surplus, which is a very good lead. And I texted the lady. This was an heir case. There were several children, but one of the daughters was named as the heir to the property in the will. There was no probate open, so we did have a will to go by. So I knew who the rightful owner to this surplus was based on the will. So I text this lady on July 15th of 2020, and she must have went to my website. Oftentimes I'll put a link to my website in my texts. So there's a tip for you on your initial contact and maybe follow-up contacts. Put a link to your website on your text. So I received an email that same day that came from the contact page on my website. So I knew that she had gone to my website to kind of check out and see what I was all about. And through the email that I received, because my contact sends me emails when people contact me through my website. So she said from then on she wanted to just do all this through email. That was fine. And as I think of this right now, I don't even know what this lady sounds like. All of our communication was through emails and later through text. So I never actually did speak to this lady through the whole process, which is kind of weird because you're dealing with people and you kind of, I know what she looked like because I could see pictures of her online, but I never put a voice to the face or the name. So we went back and forth through emails for about a month, and I started out at a 60-40 split, which would have been a very good payout at a $40,000 surplus, and she wasn't real keen on that, so we finally decided on a 70-30. Then we verbally agreed to a 70-30, so I sent her the contract with a 70-30, and then she just quit communicating. I don't know what happened. I did some follow-ups, and finally, a few weeks after that, I was pretty aggressive at this time with this technique, and I've since kind of backed off on closing files if somebody quits responding. Although I will have to tell you, I just took to my attorney a case today where I had closed a file well over a year ago, and I came back around through some old files and contacted the person again, got the paperwork signed, and now it's at my attorney. So closing a file, it's kind of a technique that I sometimes use to say, hey, this isn't totally urgent, but I want to keep the ball moving. And I'll be honest with you, closing files has backfired on me too, because then people, they go extra hard to try to figure out how to do it themselves. At least if they're communicating with me, they think, okay, if I can't figure it out, at least I've got this guy who claims to know what he's doing, and I'll end up working with him if I can't figure it out myself. So closing files, it's kind of a live by the sword, die by the sword thing. I mean, it can really burn you in the butt, or it can spur people to keep going with you on these contracts. So back to this claim. I sent the lady the the contract. She quit responding. I closed the file. I emailed her, told her I was closing the file, and just kind of let it go. A lot of other claims I was working on, other leads. So in December, I kind of came back through and was going through some old files. So this was probably about 4 months later mid-December of 2020. And I thought, I know that she's the rightful heir based on the will, but I'm going to contact her sister just to see what's going on, what her sister knows. And I did that, and the sister, let's just say it was a very interesting conversation. I don't think the sister knew about the will and her sister getting the house or being the heir to the house. She didn't get the house. The house was actually foreclosed on. I think the second sister I contacted must have contacted the first sister, because just like that, I got a text from the lady who had quit responding to me that I had sent the contract to that very day. And she texted me and said, all right, let's get this going. I'm sorry I kind of dropped off the edge of the world there. Please don't talk to my family about this. And I don't know if her sister had told her that I had contacted her. Anyway, we got the ball rolling again. Got the contracts out to her, got the mobile notary to her. She was a long ways away in a different state, a long ways away from where the actual claim was going to be filed, and a long ways away from me. So I hired a mobile notary to go just to keep this girl, just to keep this lady going and the process moving. I didn't want this thing to die again. And again, the first mobile notary meeting, she called and canceled. I'm thinking, oh boy, here we go again. But the mobile notary was very good. She stayed on top of it and got another meeting set up like within a week. Got all the paperwork signed, got the death certificate, and I had the mobile notary mail everything to me. She took pictures of everything and verified that all the documents were done at the meeting when they sat down and signed all the paperwork. So the mobile notary actually put everything in the mail, because the homeowner, I knew she had a tendency to drag her feet. The mobile notary would do it because she wanted to get paid. So I had the notary drop everything in the mail. I got it. And the claim, the check that you saw earlier in this video, paid out the middle of May. So it was basically from July of 2020 until the middle of May 2021. So about 10 months from initial contact till I actually received my check. And that was with a 3 or 4 month where the case was basically, the file was closed. So this was a little bit longer. This is one of my bigger payouts, 5-figure payout. Those are very nice. So I would just encourage you, and this is my tip, and you kind of got this going through here, but if you're working a file and you contact somebody and it kind of dies off, but you see they haven't actually gone and claimed it, just maybe come back a few months later and contact them. Things change in people's lives, and maybe they found new motivation. Maybe finances are a little tighter, and that money would really come in handy for this, for the person you're trying to reach. So I would just encourage you, don't give up on leads, especially good leads, where you've already contacted the people, maybe sent out contracts. I've got a lot of contracts out there where I've talked to people, text them, communicated, yes, send me the contracts. I've sent them, and then it dies. And those are like the top of the list of people I go back to. Ones that already have the contract. I know they haven't filed a claim on their own. Some do, but some don't. They just don't do anything. So those are the leads that you can go back to, touch base with them. You know how to contact them. You've got their number or their email or both. So just continue that conversation again, even though it may be several months later. And some of those leads will pan out. And I've had that work out where I've come back around to people after several months and we get the deal done. Down below is a link to the course that I took. That's the foundation of my business, Nick Fulmer's Overage Syndicate course. And click on that link, go to the course, check it out. It's a great course. Nick is continually adding to the course. And if you buy the course once, you get those additions at no extra cost. It's the one-time cost of the course, and then all his updates and things that he adds to that, you get along with that. So click on the link below, check out the course, and who knows, maybe you'll get into this business and your life can change too.